Okay, good afternoon. Get you started with the injuries and the updates we have for you. So Shavers, as we talked yesterday, was going through some more tests, and turns out that he has a torn ACL, and so he'll be out for the season. Tough loss. Certainly praying for him, and just amazing what he was able to do to come back in the game and play the way that he did. Jordan Poyer, Max Harrison, Ty Johnson, all three of those will not practice. Matt Prater will not practice. He should kick, however, tomorrow. Dalton Kincaid, Terrell Bernard, Josh Allen, A.J. Epinesa, Matt Milano, Greg Rousseau, all will be limited today. DeMar Hamlin will be full. And then Curtis Samuel and Ed Oliver, I think we talked about this yesterday, will be out there for practice. So with that, time's yours.
Just the wide receiver room now. We talked about it yesterday, actually, but losing another guy, what is that room, I guess, what does that mean for this room this week?
Yeah, another guy's got to step up. That's, point blank what it means. And I don't mean to be short. It's just right now it's full confidence in the guys in that room. And, we brought back Christian Wilkerson, and he'll be a good addition back to us on the practice squad, and we go from there.
What's your anticipation roster-wise at that position? Is that it?
For now.
Meaning for adding?
Yes, yeah.
Is it too early in the week to know whether Curtis has a chance to be activated?
Yeah, we need to get out. I need to get out there today and see a little bit. It's more of a walkthrough, so it's going to be harder to tell. Just take it one day, Jay, as we go. And tomorrow we'll try and move around a little bit more, just trying to get the guys as fresh as possible in the short week.
I know you're not going to use it as an excuse because everybody has injuries, but Sean, can you recall a year that you've endured with as many injuries as you guys have had this year?
I mean, you said it, Sal. It's like every year there's injuries. You expect the injuries. It is a part of the game, and the amount we've had this year it's significant. But what I need to focus on, what we need to focus on, is what's right in front of us today, and that's handling the things that we can handle and control what we can control, which is obviously this walkthrough today we're about to have here in a few minutes, and it's next man up. That's pretty stone cold what it is and what has to happen here for us in about 5 days here.
That's fairly. I was just going to say on Shavers, that's fairly remarkable that he was able to play through that. What does it say about his toughness?
Oh yeah, I mean he embodies what we're all about. I mean I believe it happened summer of second quarter when we went out there to look at him, and for him to then come back into the game and then for it to turn out to be what it was is remarkable. Remarkable toughness, remarkable commitment to the team.
With Curtis and Ed coming back, is there, anytime this happens, but because you have this short week and it's the playoffs and everything, is there any kind of lead up in terms of evaluation or a guess to educate you on how much these guys could contribute, if at all? Or does it start cold at the window? What are you allowed to kind of observe about where these guys are in terms of their readiness to play a game?
Yeah, it's limited other than what we can get from the training staff. So we base everything we get off of the information we get from them, and then what the player is giving us. So it's never easy because everybody's going to want to play normally in these type of situations. And we've had guys in the past that have been, can they make it, can they not? And everyone, their heart's in it. It's just a matter of can they actually do it. And they're all different, cases year to year. But that's kind of the delicate spot we got to find with each situation.
Sean, Josh, is that just his foot, or is he dealing with anything else?
Same as what he went through last week, sore coming out of the game more than anything right now.
I know it's been a common theme for much of the season, I think, but the adversity and how much does the experience in the past inform you to not, to keep that game at a time focus in that sense and not, rip your hair out, I was going to say. Yes.
Have you seen John?
But how much does that inform you in not panicking, or not to say that you would have panicked before, but just to keep that even keel approach?
For myself, you mean? Or well, that's what what you're required. It's what you are tasked to do as a leader, is be out in front and lead them. And whether it's, good times, but in particular in times where you face some adversity. So, I think we've done a good job of that over the years here, and that's what we're tasked to do right now. So that's what we do. We're looking forward, and again, trying to control what's directly in front of us today.
Sean, what's the likelihood that Ed would be available this week?
Don't know. Similar to, I think Tim was asking maybe about Ed and Curtis both. I'm not sure. Maybe just Curtis, Tim. So we'll just have to see. Like I said, he'll be out there today. It's a walkthrough, so won't get a great feel. We just got to take it one day as we go here, one day at a time.
Is it because, this time of the year, you're trying to keep everybody as healthy during the week as possible? It's a limited week. Would seem to make it harder to evaluate somebody like Ed in the position he plays without sort of a little bit of leap of faith that he feels good, the trainers give him the okay.
Yeah.
But not having the physical contact as much during the week.
Yeah, it's, we want to be as fresh as possible. It's another, decision that we have to make, that I have to make on a 6-day week here, and just getting back, from Jacksonville, then turning around. So, you want to have as fresh of a team as possible and as healthy of a team as possible. Yet at the same time, we do have plenty of areas to improve on and work on. So we got to do a really good job of trying to find that balance this week here.
Sean, what have you seen out of Keon Coleman after the stretch of games where he was inactive, and how much are you looking at him specifically, and maybe talking with him this week, saying, "Hey, we need you to step up in the wake of these injuries"?
Yeah. No, you said it. He along with others need to step up, and confident he will, and he's moving in the right direction. You saw the production he had last week, the big play down the sideline. He continues to work on the other areas of the game as well that matter just as much as catching balls. So, that's his growth is going to be important for us down the stretch here.
What have you seen from Keon in terms of his growth off the field?
Just more attention to detail, more consistency, all the things that come with a young player maturing. And it's not to say that any of us are finished products. It's, that process continues. I would say, from the time that we had, the conversation that we did, the unfortunate conversation we had to have, up to now, at least, he looks like he's understanding a little bit more what's required.
Where do you think Dalton Kincaid is in his arc of being unable to hurt to play to being full go, or doing everything he can do?
Yeah, I think like we talked about, what was the phrase we used, Derek? It was injury management. Yeah, that's still the window or the category I would say we're in. I feel like he handled it extremely well last week, and we'll see where it goes this week. Getting again some rest during the week. That again, the combination should help him as well.
John, you saw this defense obviously last year in the postseason, but it looks like they've taken a step up, especially in the pass rush, led the league in sacks. What's going to have to happen for you guys on offense to kind of manage that?
Well, they're built the right way. You got the guys up front. I think somebody yesterday in here mentioned up front with the combination of cover players that are top notch, and that bodes well to build a great defense. And I think Coach Joseph is one of the best there is out there, and does a great job of scheming things up, and they make it awfully hard for an offense to move the football.
Sean, how have you seen Josh, when you think about the quarterback who started against Houston, his first playoff start, maturing into the guy who was efficient, composed on Sunday? How have you seen him learn how to manage the emotions and the pressures and the responsibilities that come with being that guy this time of year?
Well, I believe it starts with experience. When you go through, we've been through a number of playoff games, different venues, what have you. It's you kind of, I don't want to say get used to it, but there's a certain level of poise you build and composure from the experiences you go through, and then his process this time of year is as good as anybody's out there. And it's, we were where we were last week, and we turned the page, and now we're focused on all of our process this week, and we stay true to that process, and that's usually what'll set you up to give yourself a chance at least.
Joey said it, and Bobby said it. Joey Bosa needs to be better. What are your thoughts in regards to how he played last weekend and how much he needs to step up his game in Denver?
Yeah, we're going to need everyone. I mean, that's the short answer and the simple truth. We're going to need everyone. It's a great team, number 1 seed in the AFC, and they've earned that. So we're at their place. It's that type of game, and you've got to be able to do your 111th at a very high level. If we don't make the adjustments this week and the improvements we need to make, it's going to be really hard, awfully hard on us for us to get a win out there. I mean, they're just that good. So, we've got a hill to climb in front of us here.
Denver's defense is really good in the red zone. What makes a defense excel inside the 20-yard line?
Well, the space, obviously shortens down there. But when you've got speed and pass rushers, that's a pretty good combination. And those pass rushers they're longer type of guys and twitchy at the same time. So, like I said before, the roster speaks for itself, and the way that they play also is extremely impressive.
How much different is the quarterback from the guy you saw last year, Thornex?
Improved, definitely improved. He was good last year. I mean, it's hard to be good as a rookie. Very few are. He was one of what I thought was one of the few that I've been around that has, you could qualify as good as rookie year. And obviously they made the playoffs last year, and then what he's been able to do this year and the way that they've developed him. And Coach Payton's got a history of doing that with quarterbacks. So he's definitely playing high-level football.
Sean, how much do you think your team embraced and kind of relished the opportunity to go on the road, and now the adversity that they have to? It feels like it's a little different to go on the road and try and win a playoff game than when you've been at home. Was it something that you feel like they embraced?
Probably a better question for them. We're just focused really on trying to play our best football, and these guys work hard at it, take a lot of pride in it. But I would say overall, they just like playing football together. They're a connected group, and they like playing football together. And I think that's the key is they like being around each other. And with that, you go on the road, and it's honestly you get on the road and you stay in a hotel for a few hours and you get up and you play. So I'm not sure if it's as much that as it is. They take pride in what they do.
How much importance does altitude matter? I know we talked about what you can do, but are you a believer that it's a big thing, just something to think about?
Yeah, I'm a believer that it's real. So you hear a lot of different things about it, but at the end of the day, we've got to manage it in order to play a winning level of football for ourselves.
Mike Tomlin resigned today.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
Man, what a career, right? For me, first getting introduced to Mike on campus at William & Mary years ago, he was a role model, trailblazer for me in terms of he was one of the captains on our team, and yet a really good football player, and then also a great person who attended FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes, stood in the middle of the practice and in the all up at the end. And I remember Mike announcing that there was Fellowship of Christian Athletes that night to all the freshmen, and I was a freshman at the time. So he was just at that point, you could tell he was going to do great things in his career and his life, and that's what he's done. So true honor and pleasure to be around him.
Would it be easier to ask what doesn't hurt on you?
I feel good. Honestly, I feel better than I have the last few weeks. I know it's a Tuesday for us, but on a Wednesday type mindset. So, I feel good.
Where does your toughness gene come from? Can you track it back?
I don't know. I obviously country boy, out in the middle of nowhere. My worst fear as a kid was missing games. Like, even when I got in trouble, my parents would threaten like missing a game and not playing in it, and I was like, all right, I'll behave, So I don't know. I just love being out there.
Your wide receiver room takes multiple hits now. How do you you guys move forward with legitimately half of the receivers you had 4 days ago?
Yeah, obviously not an ideal situation, but I still trust that room completely. Whoever we bring up needs to step up, and we have full confidence that they will. This week is going to be very important throughout the practices that we have, of making sure that we're getting on the same page with timing and just understanding where guys can go. Try to utilize their strengths to the best of our abilities. But I got no doubt that whoever's going to be up in those spots is going to do their job, step up, and then help us win or help us make plays.
Some uncertainty about the guys who might be up in those spots, but the guys who have been in those spots, where have you seen the growth from Ray? Obviously a lot of plays in the last game.
Yeah, I mean, he showed up huge for us the last few games. Like I said, weeks ago, a true vet. Just continues to work hard. You see him; he's one of the last guys out here. He's always in the weight room, always in the training room. He's a great teammate to have, and we love having him.
When it comes to Brandon, I mean, that 36-yard pass, that looks like you two guys have been together for quite some time, never mind a month or so. What is it about the trust that you had in him being there and him knowing what you were doing?
Well, you don't stay around in this league for as long as he has with just being athletically gifted. He's a very smart football player. We communicate extremely well. He takes information from me. I take information from him. And that's something that we put the play that we put in. I guess the check that we put in 3 or 4 days before the game, and for him to go out there and execute it the way he did, it's pretty awesome. But again, that's a reason why he's been around in this league for so long.
Do you see, when you watch the Denver film, do you see some similarities, what they do to what Houston can do with the pass rush plus they got an all-pro corner? Is there any similarity when you look at the film, those two?
Yeah, I mean, they've got some absolute studs over there. Obviously, they rush the passer extremely well. Interior, they're, again, some big, stout guys that can really push the pocket, and they could stop the run in the back end too. A guy like Pat Sertan, who was Defensive Player of the Year last year, he's an absolutely fantastic football player. So yeah, we're gonna have our hands full of just making sure that we're putting in the right stuff, understanding the game plan, getting to the right checks, getting to the right calls, executing and playing for each other, because again, we can't give them any help. That's a good team over there, and anytime you're facing a really good defense, and you got to go out there and execute and do your part.
Gosh, really, you were asked about the injuries at receiver, but it's kind of been roster-wide that this team has dealt with significant injuries really all year, and whether it be that or trailing in games but finding a way to come back, it seems like resilience has been maybe the hallmark of this team this season. What do you think it is about this group that has allowed it to be so resilient?
Yeah, I'd like to say it's the love that these guys in the locker room have for each other. Point being Shavers tearing his ACL in the second quarter and playing the entire rest of the game, going out there blocking, putting his body on the line for his teammates while in pain. I mean, that speaks volumes of who he is, but I think that it kind of encompasses this team as a unit, just willing to do what it takes to help this team win football games. And I really respect him and applaud him for going out there and doing that. He's a team favorite over the last few years of, again, just working hard, putting his head down, going out there, making plays, and the toughness and the grit that he showed this last game was pretty remarkable. And I think guys see that and they respect the heck out of him. So. But again, I think that kind of embodies what our team is.
In no way discounting what you just said, because I know it's true, but we saw it in the first game, in the opener, the resiliency of this team and how it came back from that 15-point deficit. What is it about this team that from the beginning showed that resolve? Because it's been a common theme in how many times you've come back from fourth quarter deficits.
Yeah, I think obviously it goes back to training camp and building our roster the way we did, and guys hanging with each other and really trusting each other off the field. And I do believe it pays dividends on the field. But to go out there and know that the 10 guys on the field have your back and you have their back, again, if we've got a chance and there's time on the clock, we truly believe that we have a chance, no matter what the game looks like, no matter how much we're down or how much we're in front. Again, just taking the play at hand and just trying to execute each play.
Josh, you played in the highest altitude possible at Wyoming. Lots made this week of playing in this altitude. What's perception and reality of how you need to handle it, how you need to prepare, and what it's like?
Yeah, I mean, physically it's going to challenge you. I think the best thing that we can do, though, is not really talk about it, not really think about it, and not making it a problem. Just going out there and doing our job and getting on the sideline, getting some oxygen if you need it. But yeah, I mean, I know from firsthand experience it is an advantage. But to have that mindset of understanding that it's going to be tough. But yeah, we gotta fight through it.
Sean mentioned that for Keon, it's going to be, you need more from him. What have you seen from him this week, and where are things with you two in terms of chemistry?
I think chemistry's there. Yeah, I mean, guys need to step up, and that entire room has to find ways to pick up the slack where we're not going to have it from Shays and Gabe and Five. So, yeah, guys got to step up and make plays, but again, just have full confidence in that room.
Sean said, going off of that since that first conversation we had with Keon, said that he has a better understanding of what's needed. How have you seen Keon grow from that first game when he was around?
Yeah, I think he's grown a lot. Just understanding, again, what's being asked of him as not just as a football player, but as a teammate, as a professional. So yeah, I think he's learned a lot, and he's been able to take it in stride and hasn't gotten mad or anything like that. So he's kept his head down. He's worked extremely hard, and he's made some plays over the last few weeks, and it's really good to see. But we're gonna need, like we talked earlier, we're gonna need more of it.
How far do you think you can throw it in the altitude?
It's been a while. It adds a few more yards and maybe pushes back the Hail Mary line just about 5 yards. But hopefully we're not in that situation. But you never know.
Going back to Brandon, how much do you think it helps that Brandon Cooks, that it helps him having played with Drew Brees, with Tom Brady? I'm going down this list, Dak Prescott. I mean, how much do you think that has helped him?
Helped him?
Helped him, or help them?
I mean,
too.
just having, again, he's been traded for a lot of high picks because he's such an asset to teams, and yeah, he's been around some of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game, and to have that type of knowledge and be able to relay information to me too, because he's been around some of the best. So yeah, to have that knowledge, to have that experience, it's definitely an asset.
What are your thoughts on Tre'Davious White's journey in the game he's coming back?
Yeah, it's inspiring. I think everybody in Buffalo loves Trey White. I'm included in that. Not just the player that he is, but the man, the adversity that he's fought throughout his entire career to kind of leave and come back. And again, Buffalo welcomed him and really wanted him back. And, he's going out there and he's making plays for this defense and our team and helping us win football games. So, but I just have so much respect for him, more so as a person than a player.